Hey guys, Crystal here. Today I have a review of the meal subscription service HelloFresh. I have the little meal cards here for you guys. So I had wanted to try one of these meal boxes for a while, and a good friend of mine actually got us a week for free I shouldn't say for free, but as a gift for my birthday. So we got 3 meals for 2 people, and it gave me a chance to try out HelloFresh. So I will tell you guys that HelloFresh and I started off on the wrong foot. So I was super excited about the meals that I had picked out. The way that HelloFresh works is that they have about 7 or 8 meals that you can kind of pick and choose from. And like I said, you get 3 for a week. So I picked out 3 meals that sounded really good, and I was super excited. The box was supposed to get here on Friday, and it never arrived. So I called them up. I called customer service, and I was really confused because I never got... They told me that I would get information on shipping, like a shipping confirmation, and I never received that. So I called customer service, and they said, okay, well, it looks like it's actually scheduled to arrive on Saturday. And I was like, okay, well, I scheduled it Friday, but whatever. So I was like, okay, sure. So Saturday came and went, and our box did not show up. And when I had talked to customer service the first time, they told me that they were going to email me the shipping information, and I never got the shipping information. So Saturday nights, they tell you to wait until 8 o'clock at night to call them. So Saturday night, I call them up, and I'm like, hey, box still didn't arrive, still didn't get shipping info. So she looks it up, and she's like, okay, well, for some reason, there must have been an issue with shipping. It says it's actually it's on a truck right now, and it's not gonna arrive till Wednesday. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because we meal plan on Sundays. So now I'm like, okay, great. We got these 3 meals, and now they're gonna arrive like middle of the week, which does not help us at all. And then I was like, okay, and what about the food? That's a long time to be just sitting on a truck. Like, I realized that they put ice and stuff in these packages, but I was like, that's a really long time. And she's like, well, it should still be okay. If the meat doesn't look good, then obviously don't eat it. And I'm like, seriously? Like, that's your response? So it was really kind of sketchy. So I waited till Wednesday, and oh, by the way, and Saturday when I was talking to her, she said, okay, I will send you the shipping info so that you can track it, and you'll see when it's, gonna arrive. I never got the shipping info. And guys, I checked my junk mail. I checked my spam. I just was not getting these emails from customer service at all. So Wednesday comes and goes. My box is not here. And at this point, I'm really upset. So I called them up, and apparently the box got damaged, and they sent it back. FedEx sent the box back without giving me any notification whatsoever. Like, if I had not called, I never would have known what happened to my box. Because I had no shipping info. Because HelloFresh never sent me the shipping information. So the 3 meals that I had been really looking forward to never arrived. I never got to try it. Now, I will give them some credit. They definitely made up for it. They reimbursed for the week that we had, and they also gave us a second week. So a few weeks went by. They didn't have meals that I was really interested in. It seems like the meals are kind of hit or miss, at least for our preferences. But they finally had a week that I was like, okay, these sound really good. So I went ahead and scheduled it, and it actually did arrive on time like it was supposed to. So that is where we are now. So the 3 meals that we tried this week were the New York strip steak with balsamic reduction. It had polenta, green beans, and tomatoes. Okay, I'll show you guys that guy. We also had what they call winning pork medallions. All right, I'll let you see that guy. So that came with Brussels sprouts, potatoes, and like a tarragon sauce and cream sauce. And then the third one that we tried was the chicken lo mein. I had chicken, lo mein noodles, carrots, mushrooms, green beans. So, like I said, this was the very first one that we tried. We used a lot of pots and pans. We used like 3 or 4 different pots and pans, and I was like, this is a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little intense. So our first foray into it was like, okay, this is pretty easy. They give you step-by-step instructions. They lay everything out. It was very easy to follow, but there was a lot of cleanup afterwards. As for the meal itself, we thought it was really good. It was a little bland for our tastes. We tend to use a lot more spices and things, and so I feel like the polenta could have used a little bit more spice, something added to it, as well as maybe a little bit more added to the steak rather than just the balsamic glaze. The balsamic was really good though, and it did add flavor. I just wanted more flavor throughout rather than just salt and pepper. But it was good. We did enjoy it. The only other weird part was the herbs that come with it. So it came with chives, and I think it's just because of the way herbs are packaged, but it came with a whole package of chives, and I was like, I need like 1 sprig of chives. But they make it sound in the instructions like you're supposed to use the entire container, which is a lot of herbs, you guys. A lot of herbs, as I found out the next day when we tried the next recipe. So the second one that we tried, so the strip steak was pretty good. It could have used a little bit more flavor. The second one we tried was the pork medallions. Now this one was pretty simple. It was pretty much all in like 2 pans, I think. It took a little bit longer because of the potatoes. They had to go in the oven. But we really actually liked this one. Again, very easy to make, very tasty, plenty of food for the 2 of us. I just want to point that out. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's actually been more than enough food for 2 people. I enjoyed it. It was really good. The only qualm that I had about this one, it was a lot of Brussels sprouts. Like, you've got to enjoy Brussels sprouts, for one. But like I said, when they send you the herbs, they send you this entire container of them. Now, this came with tarragon, and when I was cutting it up, I was like, ooh, this is really nice. This is like, it's kind of like this herby minty flavor is what tarragon is. And so I was really enjoying it. So I threw a bunch of it, the majority of what came in the container, into the cream sauce. It actually ended up being a little too much. I could have done with a little less of that minty, herby flavor in the sauce, because it kind of was a little overpowering at times. But overall, I really enjoyed this recipe, and it was really good, and it's something that, you know, we would have never ever made ourselves. That's one cool thing, and polenta, by the way, is something I never would have made myself. So that's kind of a nice thing about this, is that we're getting to sort of try things that we would never make on our own. The third meal was probably my favorite, and that is the chicken lo mein. I'm going to zoom in for you guys to see that. This guy, again, chicken, lo mein noodles. It also came with carrots, mushrooms, green beans were kind of the veggies that were in the lo mein. We did not use the mushrooms because we are not mushrooms people. Actually, when I read the description of the recipe, I didn't realize there were mushrooms in it when I selected that. But so we just skipped the mushrooms. Again, with the herbs, they gave us an entire container of herbs, and it just was a lot. You know, it wasn't as bad as before. It was scallions, basically. So, you know, we used like a few pieces of scallion, and that was really it. There were some leftover ingredients for this recipe, so that wasn't the case with the other ones, but this guy, we did have leftover hoisin sauce, which, guys, I still don't know what that is, but it is tasty. as well as leftover ginger. They kind of give you like a nub of ginger, so we did have some of that leftover as well. But this was super easy to make. There was a little bit more chopping involved with this guy, a little bit more prep because there was garlic, there was ginger, there were scallions involved. But we really liked this, and holy cow, was it a ton of food. Like, we actually had leftovers. Which I was not expecting to happen because the other two recipes were actually just the right amounts for us. But this guy, we had leftovers. There was so much food. Really, really enjoyed this. Again, the instructions were super simple to follow. It's not rocket science by any means. I think the only thing was that the soy sauce was in this really awkward container. And as I was trying to squeeze it out, it actually like popped everywhere and I had to like wipe down the counters. Thankfully, I had extra soy sauce in the fridge, and so I dumped a little bit extra in. So the container for the soy sauce was a little weird, but that was really good. Like, I would totally eat that meal again. It was so good. So overall, I have to say that despite the delivery issues, I enjoyed HelloFresh. Now, the delivery issues are definitely a problem for me, because even with the second time around, I still didn't get shipping information. Like, I don't know where the issue is here, but like, the box just showed up. Okay, on the day it was supposed to show up. I never got an email or anything saying, hey, your package has shipped or anything like that, which just doesn't gel with me. I get a lot of packages for my business, and just having a box show up and not having any kind of tracking, like, I would have been in the same boat as I was before if something had happened to it. So I don't love that about HelloFresh. I also struggled to find, like I said, several weeks went by before I found another week where there were recipes that we were interested in. Part of that is because I feel like every single week there's at least one seafood choice, usually shrimp, which is fine. I get it that, you know, a lot of people enjoy seafood, but that automatically, if there's more than one seafood choice, that's really reducing our options because my fiance doesn't really eat seafood. So I wish that there was a little bit better options, like you could pick, you know, like if you wanted like seafood variety versus like regular versus like vegetarian. Like, I kind of wish that there was some more ability to select what kind of meals you were interested in. But yeah, the food was really good. The only seasoning issues we had were with the very first recipe. Plenty of food for the two of us. We even had leftovers with one of them. No issues with any of the food, you know, not being fresh when it arrived. I will say that it comes with this pretty significantly big ice pack at the bottom, and it's got, you know, it's insulated, it's pretty well wrapped, but the fact that she had told me to, you know, that it was going to be on a van, it's going to be on a truck for like 5 days, I don't know if that would have still been fresh, but everything was good, and it sort of lasted throughout the week to cook everything. So overall, you know, I would probably recommend checking it out, particularly if you are not as picky about your food choices as we are. So we still have another week, thanks to, you know, customer service giving us an extra credit. So we are going to try it another week, I think probably at the end of this month, to try a few more recipes. I'm kind of on the fence on whether or not I would subscribe to HelloFresh. I'm kind of leaning towards trying one of the other subscription boxes right now, just because I've heard good things about some of the other ones out there. So I'm undecided right now, but, anyway, that is my little review of, the HelloFresh subscription box. Let me know if you guys have any questions.